Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. It is the penultimate race, race number 11 of the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series. That means we only have next week left at North Wilkesboro, but here tonight we are at the Las Vegas Bullring. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Race Network, and of course I got my co-commentator, the man himself, Boosted Brothers. We got Carson up in the booth. Carson, how we doing here tonight?
I'm doing good, Brett. I'm excited for this street stock race here at the Bullring, second to last race of the season. Bit of a short race here, 75 laps, considering the track's less than 4/10 of a mile. But it should be a lot of fun here. Should produce some great racing. I know we saw some last night with the late models, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I am as well, Carson. Like you said, very short race here tonight. 75 laps around this tight track. You think that's going to make some change some mindsets or something? Have the mentality of, hey, we got to go here from the start?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, we saw guys being aggressive from the start in the last race last night, and it was even longer with faster lap times. So we'll see what we get here tonight. I expect to see that early again here.
Yeah, I do as well here. Taking a look at this guy's first start here in the lead, Carson. We got DJ Oxford in the 22 machine. As we see times come flying in on the boards, 10 times here so far, already locked on in. Oxford right now it sits sixth with a 16:07. Zach Nichols though at top of the board at 15:92. That's flying.
Yeah, not very surprising. He was fastest in practice, and that's probably pretty close to track record here. So no, that's to be expected from that driver. No surprise.
Yeah, that it is. Now we're going to take a look at the 14 machine. This is Dylan Winters. Winters, I think, another kind of newer driver in the league this season. So we'll see what he can do. But right now, top five in qualifying. It's Nichols, Payne, Travis Wright with a great lap. Riley Duncan as well. And then Jaden Kurtachi rounding out the top five. Carson right on the bubble, though. Carson, Caleb Ramsey at the moment is sitting on pole, but still a few big names to take a lap. Right
Yeah.
for
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, how about some of these new guys though? They're fast. They're coming in here with speed.
Yeah, that they are. We see Travis Wright, Riley Duncan. Oh, Dylan Winters here loses it on lap number 2, so he'll only take his 16:31. That'll only be good enough for, I think, 20th here. 21st now as Horton puts it right on the invert in the 42 machine. He may be finding his first win here tonight, Carson, with that lap. Puts him on the pole here.
Yeah, it looks like only two drivers have not run a lap, so we'll see if these guys get out here. They still have a bit of time, but it, I think we only got like 10 seconds, so I think they're out actually.
Yeah, I think so. I know Dave Payton having some mechanical issues here coming into tonight. He has not taken a lap with, I think, some pedal issues for the 38. And then Jimmy Gallagher, last week's winner, he was going to get the EOL anyway. So maybe he said, what's the point of putting up a lap if I'm going to the back anyways?
Yeah, that's smart. I haven't seen that, but that makes total sense.
Yeah, that it does. So big shout out to Zach Nichols walking away with another pole this season. I believe, Carson, now this season alone, this puts Nichols, I want to say, I don't have the number right in front of me because of Sim Racer Hub being goofy from where we start the feature, but it's got to be something crazy here for the amount of poles this 44 has in the street stocks.
Yeah, Brett, you're right. Sim Racer Hub is not showing the number, but it's probably almost like half the starts.
Yeah, it's got to be something around that. So taking a look here at the overall kind of race info here tonight, 82 degrees, 12% humidity, partly cloudy, 5 mile per hour winds. I think we'll see some fast laps here. A nice cool track, 82 degrees overall. I should probably make the track temp right around 95 degrees. Like you said, Carson, a third mile here tonight at the Bullring, 75 laps. It's going to be action packed from the start drop of the green flag.
Yeah, Brett, it should be fun to watch. We should see a lot of moves being made and some bumping and banging like always with the streeters.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So here we go. We head on over to our starting order, and let's run through the grid walk here tonight at the Bullring. So here tonight, starting on the pole will be the 42 machine. That is Chris Horton. To his outside will be the 16 on the car, or the 900 in time and scoring. That's Noah Boucher. Rolling off P number 3 will be Tim Rogers in the 48. And then P number 4 will be DJ Oxford in that 22 machine, making the invert. Rounding out the top 5 here for the starting order, that will be the number 7 of Daryl Dillon. Or I think he also prefers Pete Dillon.
Yep. And then the pickup from there, starting his outside in P number 6, it'll be the 17 of Greggy Long. Next row on the inside, starting 7th, will be the 88 of Chuck Darling. Outside of him will be the 11 of Jaden Kratacci. 9th place will go the 97 of Riley Duncan. And to round out the top 10, it'll be the 10 car, some symmetry right there. New driver, Travis Wright.
Yeah, picking up from there, rolling off P number 11 will be the 93 of Andrew Payne. Quick time once again going to the 44 of Zach Nichols. He will once again start in 12th. 13th will be the 45 of Andrew Hardings. 14th going to the 41 of Caleb Ramsey, and Zach Coyer in the 13, rounding out the top 15.
And to his outside, starting 16th, will be the 18 of Devin McDonald. 17th, next row inside, looks like just inside, the 38 of Brain Cook. 18th on the outside will go the 52 of Jeff Dillon. John DeMeester will be starting 19th, and to round out the top 20, it'll be the 35 of Hayden Swank.
Then to round out the field, the last 4 starters will be Dylan Winters in the 14, rolling off 21st. 22nd going to JT Batson in the 014. Jimmy Gauker starting shotgun on the field here tonight after winning last week in the 02 machine, will roll off 23rd. And Dave Payton also did not take a time here in the 38. He will roll off 24th. And here we go, Carson. Lineup's all set. We get ready to rock and roll for 75 laps.
Yeah, Brett, it was throwing me off a little with the lineups, but it looks like it's set up now correctly, and so we should be good to go here for this 75 lapper. It should be a lot of fun and a lot of action.
That it will be. Horton Boucher on the front row. Horton on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing for race number 11 of 12 here, Carson. So only one more week after tonight. As Horton leads the way, he will get clear of Boucher. Boucher will find a gap. Then it's Tim Rogers in third. Then the first side-by-side battle between Dillon and Oxford. Oxford still stuck on the top side. Now Greggy Long able to get by. Long up into P number 5. We see Riley Duncan here trying to work over Chuck Darling. Andrew Payne trying to get a nose to the inside of the 88 as well.
And it's so hard here, Brett, being stuck on the outside. The inside is definitely the preferred line, so when you're on the outside, you just got to kind of hold on to it, bide your time up there, try to get back down low.
Yeah, one car big time sideways. That was Oxford there off a turn, kind of in the middle of 3 and 4. Not sure if he got some help by Duncan, but he got big time shuffled out of the groove and will fall back all the way to 10th and maybe some more, as here comes Zach Nichols now to the inside. Further up front, though, Tim Rogers working over Boucher for that second position. Looks like we'll get clear here. That'll open up the lane for now Long and Dillon as well.
Oh, the 22. Wow, what a save. I thought DJ Oxford was going around right there.
Yeah, it still might not be over.
Yeah.
Is that car out of control? What'd you see, Carson?
Oh, and then Hayden got into Caleb Ramsey. Oh, and around goes John DeMeester. Last week's winner, Jimmy Gauker, got in there.
Yeah, so around goes DeMeester and the 14 of Winters there. Carson, that seemed like that was going on for a whole lap there until the lid kind of finally came uncorked there. What'd you see to kick it on off with the 22?
Travis Wright was to the inside. The 22 came down on him just a little in the middle of the backstretch there coming to turn 3. 10 didn't like that, kept the nose down there, got the 22 loose. 22 then coming off 4 was still loose trying to save the car, and then it carried all the way over into turn 1 with John Ginn hit with the checkup. The accordion's still happening.
Yeah, so we're watching on the replay here, kind of a lap ahead of what we're seeing. So coming up to a live here, and this starts in 3 and 4, right? You said between the 22 and the 10 here.
Yep.
Yeah, that it is. Both guys kind of going for the same real estate. Then the 22 right rear hot. He will come on down, bottlenecks everyone. Then from there, bumper tags all the way around. And like we said, you know, the 2 getting turned across the nose of the 2, and the 14 getting some help from, I think, the 014. So some
Yeah.
crime on crime for
Yep.
same driver numbers there to kick off this first caution.
Some more symmetry. 2 on 2, 14 on 14.
Yeah, we don't see that too often, but that's what kicks it off here tonight for caution number 1. And Carson, we're already on lap 10 of 75. So even though that was definitely felt like a sprint, probably from us and these drivers, you know, laps clicking on by here quickly. Now only 65 to go as the field will double on up. Horton will take the inside. That'll leave Tim Rogers up front on the outside. So it's going to be Horton Rogers on the front row here. Horton got away with the first start with a great jump. Another good one for the 42. Rogers kind of sleeping there. Looks like Long will get up into second, and Rogers might be in trouble here. Might be stuck on that very tough top side, like you mentioned, Carson.
Yeah, Brett, throwing me off a little because he's the 48 in this series. He's the 5 in the late models, but we'll have to see how Tim can manage his race. He's had some tough luck this season, Brett.
Yeah, that he has. He's had a lot of tough luck and hoping to bounce back a little bit here tonight. I think if he wants anything, it's just a nice, clean race for himself, you know. As Rogers still stuck up on the top side. Now Chuck Darling trying to get around him up in front of Darling. Now he is clear. So from 6th up front, all single filed out here as everyone tries to wrap this inside lane.
Yeah, Brett, patience is the key for someone like Tim here tonight, especially when you're on that outside.
Yeah, and that's kind of the approach Zach Nichols is taking. We saw how quickly he can sometimes get through the field, but he still sits in the 9th position as he gets around the 48. Look like out towards the front there, Boucher gets big time sideways in 1 and 2 on the outside of Kurtachi. Kurtachi now in chase of Andrew Payne. Him and Payne have made quick work through the field, though, to start this race. I think one car may have went around. Yes, there was. John DeMeester goes around for a second time. We stay green flag racing, though, as I think the 2 cars spun around there on his own, but then we got a spin, I think, on the front stretch here. Yeah, Devin McDonald stopped as well.
Yeah, just got into Braden Cook. Looks like he chopped Devin's nose a little there, and Devin was not expecting that. Just got into him. Braden saved it, but Devin went around, coming out for him.
Yeah, we're taking a look at it here live on the Turn 3 Racing Network replay, and yep, probably didn't realize he was going to catch Braden that quick like that, and that sends the car around pretty quick when you have that much wheel in it. So we'll have to keep an eye on the claim. Carson, did we have a claim during that first yellow?
Dylan Winters just claimed. I don't know if that was for the first caution. I didn't see him involved in that.
Interesting, but we'll take a claim, of course. For those tuning on in, a claim is, you know, you're saying you're at fault for the yellow. That dictates you to the back of the longest line. Nothing is, let's say, nothing has to be claimed here in ASRC, but it does go a long way, you know, just like the tap out rule. If you know the real life stuff and that sort of thing, going to the back saying, hey man, I was at fault there. But we can have racing incidents if stuff's unclaimed. That'll go to the admin review panel, and things will get looked at there. If someone is at fault, they get a 15 points penalty. So that's something else you get to avoid if you do claim a caution.
So, Brad, I'm confused. I was looking through trying to see what happened. I don't see anything with Dylan, but he did claim that last caution. Jimmy claimed the first one, so I don't know what happened there with the 14 car, but he is at the back now.
Yeah, interesting claim there. Maybe he felt like he caused a creating a stack up, but like you said, Carson, maybe he felt maybe at fault with the John DeMeester thing. Was he the one that got involved with John?
No, that was Jimmy, so that's why I'm even more confused.
Yeah, definitely very strange there, but it looks like we'll go. Oh, he was the one that did turn DeMeester in turns 1 and 2 that didn't bring out the caution the first time. We're taking a look here on the turn 3 racing replay here. As this was the first incident. Oh, Hayden Swank got into the 22 Everett checks on up and accordion effect as here we go up front and back to green here. Horton gets some help from Greggy Long there down the front stretch as the field dives down into turn number 1. So yeah, Carson Winters must have thought that that first incident brought out the yellow, but when really it was the incident off of turn number 4 there.
Yeah, Brett, I've been there where you think simultaneous wrecks, you think you caused it, so you claim it, and the caution was for something else, or the caution hadn't even come out.
Yeah, here we go, 3 wide into turn number 3. How will it work? It will not. Boucher into the side of Riley Duncan. Somehow we stay racing. Going to be 3 wide once again here. Man, oh man, these guys are going at it. They know it's 50 laps to go. It's go time, and they're racing like it here, Carson.
Yeah, and Zach Nichols, a huge beneficiary of that one, Brett. We saw him kind of working his way up through the field, but that was a big break there and gaining a large amount of spots there. I think a couple of spots with that one.
Yeah, that he does. Nichols now up into the 6th position after missing that calamity. Riley Duncan will fall to 8th here. And then the biggest loser of that, Noah Boucher, all the way back to 12th here, trying to work over Tim Rogers as field starts to get strung on out a little bit. A lot of single file racing here, except for towards the back of this top 15 here. Braden Cook and Travis Wright doing battle here. Wright going to try the crossover on the 38 of Cook. Looks like we'll get the nose to the inside, but Cook will have the momentum, able to slam the door, but Wright will get back to the inside of the 38 machine. This battle far from over yet, but looks like Cook now finally able to get clear. Zach Court, kind of tough start to the night for that 13 machine. He was one of the driver spotlights from this week, Carson. Oh, Colby or Coyer, one of his nicknames.
Yeah, great nickname and longtime ASRC regular. Has some wins, has some success in this league. So he's always a good guy to have in your league. And like I said, he's had some success here and is a really good driver, Brad.
Yeah, that he is, but I have to correct you, Carson. Coyer actually still looking for that first win. Has been in contention many of times, but has yet to put it all together. You know he's going to be a happy camper when that day comes.
Yeah, Brad. I didn't know that. I swear he had one. I thought from previous years, but I guess I'm wrong there.
Yeah, you'd think he would with the speed he has, especially at some of the tracks, some of his favorites like the Natural Fairgrounds and whatnot. But like I said, just has been close, but not quite enough, sadly. As I believe with those starts, I think he has about 68. I want to say he has about like something crazy like 36 top 10s in those 61 starts.
Yeah, like I said, Bray has some speed, so I guess he just needs to put it all together, and he'll have his day at some point, that's for sure. He's a good enough driver.
Yep, battle for 14th here as Hayden Swank trying to get around the 16 of Noah Boucher. But up front here, Horton will see the cross flags halfway down, halfway to go for the 42. Has led all of the opening laps, Carson, but has a lot of pressure on the back bumper of his car because he has Greggy Long right there. Those two starting to check on out just a little bit over our third place runner, Andrew Payne. Then it's Jada Kurtachi. Now Zach Nichols up into the top 5, able to get around Chuck Darling. Darling currently sits in 6th, 7th, going to our 2nd place in points, Jeff Dillon here. Riley Duncan still hanging on to 8th. Then shotgun driver Jimmy Gauker into the top 10. He's running 9th. And then Caleb Ramsey rounding out the current top 10. 24 cars, Carson, took the green flag. Currently still 24 cars out on the speedway. How about that?
Yeah, Brett, with a couple incidents, that's a good job so far by these drivers for none of them to wad it up too bad. And so far, everyone's surviving, but we'll have to see if we can keep it that way for 75 laps. That would be the ultimate feat.
Yeah, that we'll have to see. Riding on board with our race leader, looking back at Greggy Long here, and you can see just the pressure that 17 was putting on the back. Looks like Long lost about a half a car length though last couple laps. Gap now a quarter of a second, so Bourne finding a little bit of speed here. Was better than the 17 last time by with that 16.44. Now a 16.48 to Greggy Long's 16.51.
Yeah, and he's right there on his bumper, but it's one thing to get to the bumper, it's another thing to pass him. So, especially here, tough track to pass, you'd have to time it up right.
Yeah, very tough track to pass because this track isn't that big, Carson. Like we said, a third mile here, but it doesn't have too much banking, and with how you got to drive it, you're really aggressive on corner entry to begin with. So you have to be even more aggressive to try and get a nose to the inside, and that's just begging for some contact or an issue, let's say.
Yeah, Brett, especially because you got to be right on the apron to run good laps here. So to go below it, you're really pushing the car in, and it's hard to get a run off.
Yeah, that it is. And another factor coming into tonight, we do have fixed setup, so everyone's on the same exact setup. The only thing drivers can change is their steering ratio and brake bias. But I heard from many drivers, Carson, this setup was on the tighter side, so that's going to make passing even tougher to try and get that car to turn and crank down underneath someone. Top 4 kind of in their own little pack. Then from 5th to about 9th is in their, 5th to 9th in their second pack. So first 2 groups inside the top 10 kind of in their own area codes. Then it's Ramsey by himself. Andrew Harding's trying to chase back down the 41 machine. Tim Rogers 12th, Darryl Dillon 13th, Hayden Swank still in 14th. And then Noah Boucher rounding out the top 15 as battle for the race lead here, Carson.
Yeah, really good battle. Greggy gave Chris Horton the bumper there coming out of 2, and then Horton crosses back over as Andrew gets into Greggy.
Oh man, drama there as contact between the 93 and the 17 there off the corner, but oh man, Long's right rear definitely going to be very hot. He's going to have to back it down to at least about where Zach Nichols is, about probably 5 car lengths back, and then just try and hang on to that race car. As here we go, Carson, 25 to go.
Yeah, now Greggy's in trouble. Those tires are hurt. That car's flying around, Brad.
Yeah, that it is. Now into the wall a little bit down the backstretch, so that car definitely going out the window here quickly, as now Payne starting to put the pressure on the 42 machine for the race lead. If Payne can get this done, trying to pull up the stats here, Carson, real quick, see what this would make. I believe it would make his 2nd win of the season, as actually, no, I don't think Andrew Payne has one in the street stocks yet. So if Payne can get the job, yeah, so if Payne can get the job done, it'll be his first win of the streeters. Horton, of course, looking for his first win. He had one just taken away, a photo finish 2 weeks ago, trying to come back and redeem that.
Yeah, Andrew was gaining on Horton, but Horton's pulling away a little. But now he has to contend with that two car of John DeMeester a lap down, or trying to stay on the lead lap, about to go a lap down here in front of him.
Yeah, lap traffic in front of our race leaders. Demeester will get up and out of the way. Some good sportsmanship there, so we appreciate that. That'll hold up Andrew Payne just a little bit there down the backstretch. Jaden Katachi will time up this run probably pretty perfectly, as that allows Katachi to close on in just a little bit more to the 93 machine.
And always a good job by John there getting out of the way, Brett, when he's going to lap down. Oh, never mind.
Yellow flag.
As caution on the speedway, John DeMeester around. Jimmy Gauker involved in Andrew Harding's. What happened there, Carson?
I announced a jinx that one. As soon as I said good things about John, I think he got in the way of Greggy, and Greggy turned him.
Oh, man, oh, man. So we'll take a look.
Wall.
Take a look at the two machine down the backstretch. Yeah. Meester into the wall, bouncing on off it. Then what happened after that? Everyone making evasive maneuvers. Oh, Jimmy Gauker just locked up the rears, Carson, and spun into the side of the two machine. So everyone doing a pretty good job at avoiding it, but then a lockup in the tires sends last week's winner with a lot of damage here after caution number 3.
Would that be classified as an ARCA brake, Brett?
I don't believe so, since he was trying to avoid it, and then the brake lockup sent him down. It wasn't like he came in there, didn't hit the brakes. He still hit the brakes. It was just the brake lockup that sent him into the wreck.
Yeah, the second time, though, Jimmy's gotten into the other two cars, John DeMeester. Those two cars got magnets for each other here tonight, Brett.
Yeah, that they do here. It looks like Dave Payton down on pit road. Same with the 45 of Andrew Harding's. Now the 02 Jimmy Gauker sits in 10th, but has no nose cone. And I heard a little bit of talkings, as well as the tight setup, Carson, that the temperature a little bit of an issue. So we're going to have to see how this will affect the 2 machine, if he can make it to the end without this motor expiring on him.
Yeah, Brett. Pre-race, we were hearing that maybe every 1.5 laps, the temperature of the motors was going up 1 degree. So I'm sure now, after 61 laps, they're running pretty hot, some of these cars. Especially with front end damage.
Yeah, I bet so as well, Carson. As here we go. Horton, Payne on the front row. Horton has led every lap here, but 15 now, 14 to go. And an interesting start there. Some people using the apron.
I think Chuck Darling missed a shift as, oh my goodness, he just got murdered.
As we'll try and find Chuck Darling. He sits at the top of turn 1 here, and you said he got cleaned on out, Carson?
Yeah, I hope he's okay there, Brad. He definitely missed a shift or something and had some problem and ping-ponged around. Riley Duncan turned him right into the tires.
Yeah, 88 car corner pocket. Man, that is a big hit for Darling. His race definitely over, and that's tough breaks. I think 11th place last week, was hoping for some redemption here tonight. Was running inside the top 10, but another tough night for Darling. As we got our first car corner pocket there involving the 88 machine. You don't see that too often. Let's go maybe ride on board with Darling, see if we can hear him, if he missed a shift or what happened.
Yeah, I think he was just too slow coming to the line. I don't think he missed a shift. His speed stayed consistent. It was just 5 miles per hour slower than everyone around him.
Yeah, just didn't get that good run, and man, that's a big impact into those tires into turn 1 there for the 88 machine. And yeah, like you said, Carson, I don't think he just got a good enough of a restart and got jacked on up. Rear tires left the racing surface, and when that happens, you lose control of the race car.
And man, that car is junked, Brett. He got absolutely killed in there. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, hopefully he is as well, because, yeah, like you said, a big impact here. So 4th restart coming out here very quickly after the 3rd. It's now going to be 10 laps to go. Horton choosing this time will once again choose the inside lane. So it'll be 9 to go on the restart, Carson. We saw them start to get after it here. Now with single digits to go, what do you expect?
More of the same, Brett. Come on.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that here. So we'll take a look high up in the stands, try and get the full field here as much as you can. As here we go, Horton Payne once again on the front row.
Green flag, green
Horton
flag,
away
green
with
flag.
that
Much better
apron restart and making it work. He's away by himself. Kratachi now takes over his second as Payne tries to hold strong up top.
Yeah, much better start for the whole field there. We saw Greggy get accordion, and that kind of led to some problems there with Chuck too. So they're at the front, a better start for everyone there, Brett.
Yeah, 3 wide through 3 and 4 there as Zach Nichols muscles his way by Jaden Kratachi. He will move Payne all the way up to the third lane, but we get a caution flag as Noah Boucher turns it on around in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's just an accordion starting with Daryl Dillon. Looks like going in too hot on Tim Rogers' bumper. Zach Coyer got into him. They stacked up behind him. Boucher got hit by Devin, and he's the one who brought out the caution.
Yep, so that classic accordion here at the Bullring, you know, we hear it many of times striking again here tonight. So 5th caution, and I think once we go green, Carson, it's going to be an unofficial green-white checkered here. Won't use the 1 attempt yet, but it's going to be a shootout to the end. And now Zach Nichols starting on the front row here. And then don't look too far back, Carson, because we have Greggy Long and Andrew Payne restarting 4th and 5th, and I don't think Long's one of those guys that forgets something like we saw earlier in the race.
No, Brett, an aggressive driver. We've seen it throughout the race, so we'll see what he tries to pull here in these last 5 or so laps.
Yep, don't forget, guys, after the race, top 3 going to be chatting with us here in the post-race show. Right now, top 3 is Horton, Nichols, Kratachi. Then in 4th, Long. 5th, Payne. Caleb Ramsey, 6th. Jimmy Gauker has made it up to 7th, so impressive run there. Jeff Dillon, 2nd in points, 8th. Tim Rogers, I believe, 10th. Riley Duncan in 9th. So here we go. Field will double on up, and it'll be 3-lap shootout here once we get the green flag again.
Yeah, bro, we're stacking up the cautions here at the end. And at a track like this late in the season, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah, that it is. So 20 cars still on the lead lap, and here we go. 5th restart of the night. It is Horton and Nichols on the front row.
Green flag.
Horton
green
away
flag,
with
green
another good start here. Nichols able to get down to the bottom side for 2nd. He will try and fight for Horton. Do we get another iconic finish between the 42 and the 44? This time the field will see popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go. Payne getting around Greggy Long for that 4th position. Jimmy Gauker up into 6th here, as everyone else still kind of fighting throughout the field. Here we go. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. What does Nichols have in store? Nichols will give the 42 a shot. That will move him up. Drag race down the backstretch, Carson.
We got bumping and banging at the back, 7 and 13 again, Brett, but going back up front.
At the line, it is Zach Nichols picking up the win. Jaden Kratachi will finish 2nd. Chris Horton goes to P number 3, but what a move. They were 3 wide into turn number 3 there for the finish. That was exciting stuff. Everyone able to race it clean, but Zach Nichols gonna steal another one away from Chris Horton. Horton leading everything but the final lap.
Oh.
I think people...
There at the front stretch, Brett, with Zach Nichols doing his burnouts.
Yeah, I think people trying to give Zach some congratulatory revs and might have got too close to the donuts there. Yeah, going to be talking to the top 3 hopefully after this, but it's going to be Nichols, Kratachi, and Horton. So, man, what a finish. Anything you got to add, Carson, before we head to the break?
No, Brett, great finish, great battling throughout the field. I was watching more of the back, but it was tamer that last lap. No real craziness there, so great win for Zach.
Yeah, craziness at the front and a great win for the 44. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break chatting with our podium finishers.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the Las Vegas Bullring here. So, trying to dial up our third place finisher, Chris Horton, led every lap but that final lap. And, Chris, you got a copy? Looks like no copy from Chris Horton there. So, I know he's probably a little frustrated, a little bit, not the happiest camper there to lead all the laps but the final lap. But another solid race for that 42 car. So we got to at least give him the props where it deserves because he put on a heck of a race there. And I'm sure not the finish he wanted. I'm sure he wanted to be holding that checkered flag after a dominant race like that. But still a great finish nonetheless to be racing with the guys he is.
Yeah, Brad, I'm looking in the infield. He's already got his hauler packed up and he's hopping in that thing and getting ready to leave. So he wants to get out of here after tonight.
Yeah, that it definitely seems like. So we will now dial up our second place finisher, that being the 11 machine of Jaden Kurtachi. Jaden, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Oh, yeah, we're kicking.
Alrighty, man. So we got to start from that ending there and work our way forwards. 3 wide into that final corner. You had the run. You saw the contact in front of you. What was your game plan, and did you think you could sneak one out there when it was all said and done?
Honestly, yeah, I was kind of hoping Zach would have overdrove it into the corner a little bit more than what he did, but yeah, that didn't happen, unfortunately, and I went in. I don't like rubbing up against people. That's not my style, and whenever I do, I feel bad, so just tried to pin it to the bottom, hope it would stick and be able to get a good enough run off, but Zach had that sucker lit up like a freaking bald eagle, let me tell you.
Yeah, it looked like he had that thing throttling out, just driving it wherever he could and able to just sneak that win away, Jaden. It seemed like it was tough to pass here tonight. What'd you think of the car? And we did get a fairly long run in there as well, and it seemed like everyone kind of running their own pace till those chaotic last restarts.
Yeah, if we went green there to the end and didn't have that caution that broke the long run, that would have been nice, obviously. I was just sitting there managing my tires, and I felt like we had a really strong car there, and I actually could get the thing to somewhat turn. I'd say that was the main struggle tonight, just turn. But I mean, everybody's on the same thing. We all got to deal with it, so it don't really matter. But I mean, just yeah, man, that close. Second sucks.
Yeah, it does. To be the bridesmaids once again, always a difficult thing to, end the night with. But overall, man, you got to be pretty happy with it because it seemed like a tricky track. And like you said, a little bit tighter of a setup. I mean, how'd you kind of manage that with the race and saving those tires? Did you just back up your corners, or what was the game plan here at this tricky track?
Yeah, backing up corners was definitely a way to go with it. That's what I was doing for a majority of the race. I mean, like you said, passing looked extremely difficult tonight, which it definitely was. We struggled on that side of things, and we restarted on the top. I mean, I can't even count how many times. One too many, I'd say that. But I mean, you had to make some ballsy moves to get down low, and we made a couple of them happen. Got in a check at one point, so sorry to him about that. But we managed to hang in there. Like I said, another second place this season. We got quite a few of them.
Yeah, definitely would be a great points night if you're running for the points, but still a great night nonetheless. And Jaden, you're up to kind of something interesting before the race. What were you up to before jumping in these street stocks here?
We were about getting hit by a tornado, storm chasing, so that was pretty fun. Had a little crap in the pants moment when we were going down State Road 23 to Coons Lake, but we survived. Car was just swaying around, some hail, and a lot of strong winds. But like I said, we survived. We made it here and got to come and race.
Yeah, that you did. And yeah, I was watching that stream there, man, and you're working the wheel, like you said, quite a few times.
Oh,
some
my
big
gosh.
puddles, and then one time, man, I saw some left-right stuff. It was like, whoo!
Oh, yeah, there was a couple sketchy moments, but I mean, obviously I shouldn't probably be driving like that, going storm chasing, but, I love it, so. I mean, obviously you got to make sure you're clear all around on the road in order to do that, and at that point, it's just drive at your own risk.
Yeah, that it is. And, just like racing, I'm sure we're all a little bit of it, and I like to say, we're adrenaline junkies, and I'm sure that gets the adrenaline going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, when that hail and all that wind started coming, adrenaline shot through the roof. It was pretty sketchy. I mean, tornado was rain wrapped, so you obviously couldn't see it coming, but you could hear it and you can feel it.
Yeah, that is definitely wild stuff there, Jaden. But here tonight at the Bullring, another second place. You'd like to say you would be that one spot better, but already have a win on the season this series, a second. Nothing to be shy at. So here, man, before we let you go and celebrate this, I assume with the teammate as well, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors on the car, some of those all-important teammates, or maybe some people tuning into the broadcast.
Obviously want to thank you guys for broadcasting, Tanner for putting on the league. Everybody watching the broadcast tonight, thanks for tuning in. Zach for being a good teammate. He definitely has a fast car. I don't get how he does it. If you guys want some Zach's hacks, go to zachhacks.weebly.com. But sponsors, we got R&B Car Company, Community Wide Federal Credit Union, Preferred Warranties Incorporated, TechWorks Trailer Sales, United Plumbing, R&M Towing, Hoax Graphics, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. But
yeah, but it's still a strong sponsor list nonetheless, Jaden. And once again, big congrats on the second place here, my man. So you go, have a great rest of your night. Stay safe with those storms. Hopefully those are mostly blown on through here. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you at some point next week here.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, Carson. That was our second place finisher, Jaden Kutachi.
Yeah, Brett, like you mentioned, the bridesmaid here tonight, but finishing second to your teammate, 1-2 finish, that's not too bad of a deal. I know he wanted one spot better and to beat Zach, those two great friends, but yeah, I just didn't quite have enough for Zach there at the end with Zach moving Horton, and just couldn't quite get that run.
Yeah, it could have been really interesting one more lap, but that wasn't the case. Only 75 laps here tonight. So let's head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, the driver of the 44 machine. It is Zach Nichols. Zach, how are we feeling, my man?
Pretty good.
Alrighty. Well, we'll start at the top of the night for you. And once again, another quick time. I couldn't quite see it with the Sim Racer Hub stats because it takes where you start for the future. But what is this? Do you have a count of how many poles this is now for the season?
I have no idea, but to be honest, I think that's all I had tonight was just the single lap speed. I didn't really feel like we had the long run speed there because we got that pretty decent size run in the middle of the race, and once I got past Chuck, we kind of just sat there and watched the top four kind of pull away there. But yeah, I feel like our single lap speed was pretty good, and yeah, we were able to put it 12th technically after get the pole.
Yeah, another 12th place starting spot for you, man. And it's always amazing when we see you load into these street stocks, the speed that you can extract from these street stocks on a 1 lap pace. Even if it's a loose setup or especially these tight and super tight setups, how do you do it? What's kind of the key? What's going through your mind? Because you know you can't push it too hard or else, you lose that right front and your lap's gone out of the wind by, 2/10 or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, every practice before the race, I just sit there and just do single lap runs, and then usually in the race, I'll just tone that single lap run down by like 4/10 or whatnot for a race pace. So yeah, it's we usually do that, and sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, so going into the race then, a few cautions to start the race. Then we had that really long green flag run, and at first it didn't seem like you were getting through the field too quickly, running 9th, 10th, and then those cautions. Then, like you said, you got to 5th and just had that big gap in front of you. What do you think you could have needed differently, or what was the key here tonight? Because like we saw as well, passing seemed to be very, very difficult if it wasn't done on a restart.
Oh yeah, passing was definitely difficult there, but yeah, with the single lap speed, I was really just driving into the corners really far and coming off kind of slow, but I definitely don't think that's how you wanted to race, because that's how I was racing, and I just saw the top four pull away. So after that long run, we got that yellow. I just started backing my corners up and slowly made our way up there.
Yeah, and then of course we got to talk about that almost green-white checkered, the green-white checkered there at the end. Starting on the outside front row, we saw no one could really make that work. You're able to get back to the inside in front of Kurtachi, and then from there it was you and Horton once again in another fantastic finish.
Oh yeah, for sure. But me and Jaden both noticed that he was like hitting the throttle in the exact same point at restart. So I just got on the throttle when I thought he was, and we were slightly late, but we were still able to get a pretty good restart over Jaden. And yeah, I mean, I hate to call people out, but the only reason I gave him the bumper is because I saw him sandbag and qualifying to get the invert. So that's the only reason I gave him the bumper on the final corner. I wasn't gonna let him win that way. So yeah, it's I don't like racing that way, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we saw that photo finish between you two. Tonight another kind of elbows out racing to the checkered flag, and Zach here tonight only lead 1 lap here, but that's the most important.
Yeah, for sure. It's a ton of fun to get her done in this league, and this league has a ton of great competition and whatnot, and it's a ton of fun to come out each week and race.
Yeah, so with this win here, Zach, I think this locks up the points. We'll, of course, have a special interview for you next week. But overall, knowing that you're going in with not too much weight on your shoulders, short track championship looking pretty wrapped up as well. Did miss last week, of course, so that closes in just ever so slightly, but still leading both those things. I mean, how are we feeling going into these last races? And hopefully you're ready to chat with me for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. The street stock, knowing that I didn't know that I had it locked up yet, but knowing that now, that definitely puts some weight off the shoulders. But with missing yesterday because of the weather and whatnot, and our internet being out, the late model stocks is going to be more difficult now and whatnot. And yeah, looking to go next week and see if we can close it out.
Yeah, that late model stock next week at North Wilkesboro will be a not miss race to watch because, like you said, a lot on the line here. But Zach, overall, another great season for you, my man. Hopefully things are coming along good with the real life stuff. Have we got a nice schedule worked out? Cars all ready to go?
Well, the schedule's worked out, but the car is it's in Fred Flintstone mode right now. So got some work to do on that thing, and hopefully we can get out to some of these practice dates here at Owasso and Flat Rock.
Hey, there you go. Well, best of luck to you with those excursions, and look forward to seeing the Nichols racing updates throughout the season here, see how you do in those races. So, Zach here, before we let you go here tonight, Once again, another win on the season. I think this is now win number 3 of the season. You breaking that tie with Ron, so winningest driver of the season here. So big congrats to you. But before we let you go, of course, gonna go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, people watching at home, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to here.
Yeah, I'd like to shout my teammates out, Jaden, Greggy, and Jimmy. Jimmy did a phenomenal job tonight with starting dead last and driving up to 6. So shout out to him. You guys for broadcasting. You guys do a great job. My dad's watching. My Uncle Kenny's watching. I'd like to shout them both out. Almost forgot the dang sponsors on the car. I can't believe I almost just done did that. Corrigan Oil Company, Carney's Complete Auto Service, PSS&C. They tell us they help us a ton out in the real life world, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, another great win for you, Zach. And this wrap looking maybe a little bit better than the red one here. Already 2 wins with this kind of spider throwback scheme here. So I think you'll probably be running this for the near future. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna run it next week. It's definitely better luck than the red one. The red one I've wrecked down how many dang cars this season. I put this one on, and I think it's finished in the top 3 every week, and I don't think I've wrecked anyone, so that's good.
Yeah, that it is. So, Zach, you have yourself a great rest of your night. Stay safe with these storms rolling on through, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you at least one more time this season, my man.
Yeah, thank you. You stay safe, too.
Alrighty, thank you very much. That was our winner down in victory lane, Carson. Zach Nichols picking up the win here tonight. And what do you think, Carson?
Yeah, Brett, win number 3 for Zach. Probably has the championship locked up here. Had a 50-point lead coming into the night. And looks like, too, he probably more than likely has the overall short track championship also locked up. But, man, fast again. I looked at the qualifying time. He broke his own track record by a 10th in that Monte Carlo. And that qualifying speed translated over into race pace. And he's able to go from 12th to 1st and pull this one through.
Yeah, definitely an impressive run for sure by Nichols. And he's got a well-oiled machine, you know, Carson. Like you said, has the short run pace, can pick up those quick times, but also has the racecraft to know when to make moves, how to get through the field, and be there at the end like we've seen in so many races. So once again, big shout out to Zach Nichols. Thanks again for racing with us and putting on the show, because I tell you what, it definitely elevates the level of competition whenever he jumps into a server.
Oh, yeah. And he always finds a way to, even though he starts 12th most times, he always finds a way to be up there at the front and usually, like I said, pulls out the win.
Yeah, that he does. So let's head on over to our race results, Carson, and start getting people filed out of the Las Vegas Bullring and get ready to head to our season finale. That'll be next week, same time, same place on the Turn 3 Racing Network, North Wilkesboro Speedway. You guys won't want to miss it. So Zach Nichols in the 44, picking up his 3rd win of the season, will be victorious here. Jaden Kratacci, another bridesmaids for the 11. He will finish 2nd. Chris Horan, also close to that win, led 74 laps here tonight, will finish 3rd. Andrew Payne will finish in the 4th position in the 93. And then Greggy Long able to bring home that 17 inside the top 5 and 5th.
And obviously the biggest mover up, 17 spots starting at the back after an emotional special win last week with his dad smiling down on him. Jimmy Gauker picks up a really nice 6th place here tonight in the 02. 7th will go to the 41 of Caleb Ramsey. Tim Rogers with the solid finish coming home 8th in that 48 machine. 9th goes to Hayden Swank. A big move for him after a bad qualifying effort, up 11 spots. And then to round out your top 10, it's the 97 of Riley Duncan.
Yeah, then picking up from there, 2nd place in points, Jeff Dillon will finish 11th. 12th going to Zach Coyer. 13th is Dev McDonald. 14th, Travis Wright. And then DJ Oxford rounding out the top 15.
And then 16th will go to the 038 of Braden Cook. 17th to the 38, back-to-back 38s there. 17th will be 38 of David Payton. 18th will be the 7 of Daryl Dillon. 19th will go to the 900 of Noah Boucher. And then to round up the top 20, last car in the lead lap will be the 014 of JT Batson.
Yeah, and then to pick up from there, some drivers having some troubles throughout this race as John DeMeester, first car, 1 lap down in the 2, will finish 21st. 22nd going to Dylan Winters in the 14. 23rd is Chuck Darling in the 88 with that hard crash. And then Andrew Hardings in the 45 will round out the field here tonight. So Carson, that will do it here from the penultimate race, race number 11 from the Las Vegas Bullring for the Race 1 Wrap Street Stock Series. And how are we feeling here? Season finale next week. Action-packed racing here tonight.
Yeah, Brett, great racing. Some incidents there at the end, maybe some tempers going into next week, but we'll have to see. A lot of on the line points-wise for both the overall short track championship and the street stock championship. So I expect more of the same next week when we are at North Wilkesboro for the finale.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Like I said before, can catch that racing action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Same time during Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. We'll let them loose for the season finale, and you guys won't want to miss it. We'll have some cool special stuff for that as well. And yeah, overall, Las Vegas Bullring, a sprint of a race, only 75 laps. We saw some close quarter racing all throughout the race, side-by-side racing. Very tough to pass, and of course, a great, crazy finish once again to end another race here. Zach Nichols picking up win number 3. So want to give some shout outs to some people, of course. First up being some sponsors here with the American Sim Racing Club. Of course, the big one, the title sponsor, that is Race 1 Wraps. You can like them on Facebook at Race 1 or check them out with race1wraps.com. Can wrap race cars, commercial vehicles, do t-shirts, fan appreciation boards, all sorts of cool stuff. Be sure to check them out. We also got to give a huge shout out to Boardwalk Subs coming on board with the caution counter, as well as LaPlante Racing Products and Postma Flooring for being partners of the American Sim Racing Club as well. Another big shout out I got to give here is to you, Carson, for jumping on in the booth, calling these races with me. Always do appreciate it. So thanks again, Carson. Really do appreciate it a lot. Also got to give a shout out to all the live and replay viewers out there.
Yeah, bro, it was fun. I enjoy the spending Wednesday nights with you and broadcasting these races. Usually put on a pretty good show with these guys. We know a lot of these guys are high-level racers and real-life racers, so the product on the track speaks for itself. Every week in and week out is a great race.
Yeah, that it is. And yeah, that's another thing I got to mention. Got to thank all the drivers that come out, spend their time with us on these Tuesday and Wednesday nights for us to enjoy this racing product, as well as to continue to see stuff grow and develop, see these guys get better, and just put on the great racing that we enjoy watching. So big shout out to all the racers and everyone that makes things happen in the back scenes here. Really do appreciate all you guys. Also, with the Turn 3 Racing Network, we are partnered with that logo you see in the bottom right of your screen. That is Premier Setup Shops. If you guys can, there's a link in the description. That will take you over to Premier, show them that their support of us, that we can do the same and support them. It would mean a lot for myself. Even if you don't want to get anything, a click will go a long way there. So I believe that will do it here tonight, Carson. Any closing words you want to send us off with?
I just wanted to mention, too, we mentioned it that we missed it on the broadcast, but John DeMeester did claim that last wreck. So I just wanted to mention that before this race is over. He was the first car lap down, but he was involved with Greggy there. So I just want to mention that quick because we realized during commercial that we forgot to bring that up.
Yeah, good call there, Carson. So the 2 car did claim the incident with the contact between the 2 and the 17. So appreciate the good sportsmanship there from John. And I think that would do it from the penultimate race of the Race 1 Wrap Series. So everyone take care, stay safe with another batch of storms rolling on through. You guys got to hunker down. Be sure to do that. Keep an eye on radar. Stay safe and have a good rest of your week. I have been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a good night.